So in summary, then, you're saying to love those that we find really despicable, that we really can hate. And I can really hate these people that cut off the fingers and beat their children. And somehow in the experience of loving them, they're going to change before our eyes and stop beating their children.
That's it exactly. As you know, in a normal parent-child relationship, the parent is there to supply the child's needs. But in the case of the child abuser, the parent is so desperate for love, he expects the child to fulfill his needs. Well, when the child can't do it or is incapable or for whatever reason, the parent ends up beating him. I'm sure some of you have experienced this, say, of some parents that have watched their children in Little League.
We find that one child usually becomes the scapegoat. It's usually the child most resembling the parent doing the abusing.
You know, when you think about it, there are many, many kinds of child abuse. But it's only when it breaks out in physical violence that we recognize it as something horrible.
Dr. Robert, your complete claim, then, is that by loving these battering parents instead of punishing or confining them, that actually works in stopping further beating of their children.
Absolutely. You're involved in child abuse, and I'll bet you're using some form of punishment, threat, or maybe even jailing, I don't know. Now, you know your cure rate is less than 25%. Ours, on the other hand, is over 90.
Dr. Roberts.
I'm sorry.
No, I beg your
Go
pardon.
ahead, you may.
The whole fate of the human race depends upon our ability to handle and recognize normal aggression and the hostility in us. Now, have you thought about applying this to other areas of our society?
Yes, as an example, this entire school here is built upon the same principle. And we would fervently like to try it in other areas.
What Jean has really taught us here and in the Child Abuse Center is that everyone has inside of them a fantastic force, and it can really change people once it's unleashed.
So that's where the school gets its pacifism?
I'm sorry, I just can't stomach that word pacifism. Because when people hear that we're pacifists, they automatically feel we're sitting around waiting and sometimes even retreating from life. Whereas we feel the thing that we've got here is a living, dynamic, positive force that has the ability to change the most warped lives, turn on the most confused and lost people, and I think we all literally feel here that it could possibly rebuild the world.
Is this what you call nonviolence?
No, I'm sorry. We call it by something much cornier than that.
We call it love. Can any of us go along? No.
Billy, there's a big press contingent waiting for you up in my office. And I think it would be a good idea for you and me to get together and talk about what we're going to say.
That it?
Billy, it would be to everyone's advantage if you would cooperate with Warden Sells.
He's a hardhead. He'll be back.
No way. They've already got him marked.
You mean they'll kill him?
You're not little Carol? And Sunshine?